very much, Mr. Speaker, and I thank my friend for yielding and compliment him on his sunshine tie over there with all of that wonderful Florida speak out. You too, Mr. Speaker. You kind of looking pretty good with that colors. We must be taking a picture or something around here today. Mr. Speaker, I rise today in strong opposition to the rule for H.R. 1938, and I feel that much like the majority's previous legislation attempts to increase offshore drilling, this backwards-looking, dirty energy bill will not lower the price of gasoline for the average American today, tomorrow, or in the future. It manages, this bill does, to completely ignore the pressing need to develop clean, sustainable energy. In fact, only the large oil companies will benefit from this bill. In its very application for the Keystone XL pipeline expansion, TransCanada indicated that it believes this expansion will actually raise oil and gasoline prices. The pipeline expansion connects Canadian oil to the Gulf of Mexico, making it possible to ship tar sands oil out onto the world market for the first time. The pipeline will allow TransCanada to bypass the Midwest, reducing what the company called, and I quote, price discounting, unquote, in the Midwest due to what it considers an, I quote, oversupply, unquote. The oil will run past Montana, right through Texas, ignore Nebraska completely, and wave goodbye to the United States while it rides right out of the country. Providing Canadian oil companies access to this new market is the only reason to want to expand the pipeline. TransCanada's application actually indicates that it expects the price of crude oil to increase by $6.55 per barrel in the Midwest and $3 if the expansion is completed. Ultimately, the expansion would lead to a windfall for Canadian oil companies of between $2 billion and $3.9 billion by the year 2013, while increasing the cost of gasoline for hardworking Americans between 10 and 20 cents per gallon. The people of the United States will bear all the risks of an onshore oil spill and reap absolutely none of the benefits. Let there be no mistake about this. The risk of an oil spill from these tar sand pipelines is very real. The oil is so much more corrosive than traditional crude oil that even Canada has yet to approve a dedicated pipeline conveying it to its coast. The oil eats away at the pipelines, compromising them and leading to frequent spills. For example, the very pipeline for which the majority bill hastens expansion suffered 12 spills in its very first year. The first spill in June 2010 occurred only 1 month after the pipeline went into operation. Just this last May, the Keystone spewed 21,000 gallons of oil in North Dakota. Already, Mr. Speaker, Americans are paying the price for a project which delivers to them absolutely no benefit. A similar pipeline recently discharged 840,000 gallons of oil into Michigan's Kalamazoo River, causing one of the largest oil spills ever in the Midwest. On July 1st, a pipeline broke and spewed approximately 42,000 gallons of oil into the Yellowstone River. Between 1990 and 2005, there were over 700 related oil spills. The Keystone Pipeline expansion would expand the risk of a BP-sized oil spill from the Gulf of Mexico to front yards across the heart of this country. After its initial impact statement received harsh and extensive criticism, the State Department issued a supplemental draft statement. The period for public comment on that draft closed on June 6th. The State Department is currently reviewing the comments it received in response to this second statement, and a process expected to take several months. Nonetheless, the State Department has reasonably indicated that a decision can be expected by the end of the year. Yet this bill would require a decision within 30 days of the issuance of the final environmental impact statement and no later than November the 1st. Without further justification, Republicans seem to think it necessary to shortcut the process, compromising the discussion and its analysis. There are still many questions that need to be answered regarding the pipeline, including information on greenhouse gas emissions, safety, alternative routes, and environmental justice considerations. This year, the Republican majority has offered 3 offshore drilling bills that have utterly failed to preserve and protect our environment. It's clear that my friends in the majority are more concerned with keeping big oil companies happy than implementing a workable energy policy for the future. Instead of crafting policies to ensure that the growing sustainable energy industry is filled with American workers, the majority wants to enrich Canadian oil companies at a cost of America's economy and environment. These kinds of dirty energy bills keep us mired in the muck of fossil fuels when what we need to do is focus on making our energy use more efficient. We need to develop the next generation of clean energy technology. Unfortunately, Republicans seem intent on our country's oil addiction. This is not good policy today and will certainly be not good policy in the future. Mr. Speaker, I reserve the balance of my time.